Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And just checking in on you. What's going on? Whoa, Jesus, the levels. What happened? You know, one of these days, I'm actually going to have like a little podcast room. I mean, they have one at the All Things Comedy Studios. I just never get over there. Because I'm a working stiff. I go to work every day. I haven't had a job in fucking 20 years. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't miss it. Oh, I didn't miss getting in the fucking car. Bump, 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 ba-doodle-doo-doo, right? I don't think I'll ever get over how fucking awful the drivers are out here. Their complete lack of sense of where their fucking car is. If one more cunt in front of me is going to make a left and they're just sitting right in the middle of the lane, get over to the fucking left so everyone around you can go around you. I know you've been the guy trying to get around the person. Did you learn nothing? Obviously you didn't. I play like a little game. Like, how long can I go before I lose my shit? Like, I could literally just make a great YouTube show if I just put I don't know about great, but it'd be interesting. If I just put a GoPro up on the inside of my fucking Prius dashboard and just maybe you just call the show How Long Can He Go, right? It'd be like every day, okay, Bill drives from here to here, right? I might do this. Bill drives from here to here, whatever. You say the distance, and then you guys can gamble. It's like fantasy football without the fucking football. And you'll have an over-under. How many times is he going to snap or whatnot? You know? I already forget the name of the show, but whatever. It could be interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to you. Hey, you know what car I've been seeing lately that I like is that Volkswagen GTI. They brought the thing back, and every time I peek in creepily into the fucking cars as I walk by, I see that they still have the stick shift. There's not a lot of those left. That's a great car. Good bang for the buck, right? Old frugal freckles. Yeah, God forbid he buys himself something flashy. I swear to God, you think that I lived in the Depression. I always hear, like, my parents, how fucking frugal their grandparents were. I think it rubbed off on them, and then it's on to me. I'll buy my fucking wife anything, but I won't buy myself shit. I just won't do it. I always get there, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to do it, and I go, what the fuck am I going to do? And then I'm going to have it, and then what? Then what am I going to do with it? Then it's just going to be sitting there. It's either going to get dust on it, or someone's going to drive into the fucking side of it. What's the point? You know, a very wise man once told me, you know what true wealth is? Walk into a mall, being able to buy anything, and then you don't. And he goes, and you walk out, and you have the freedom of that lack of debt. And I'll tell you, it's fucking addicting. It really is. Although recently, somebody just gave me a fucking wireless speaker. And I was freaking out about the thing. I actually synced up my phone to it. I couldn't believe how great it sounded. And I was going to add it into my gym, of course, until the lovely Nia heard how good it sounds. She was like, that should be in the house. We should both use it. So I got fucked out of that thing. But, so I'm like an asshole. I think I might have even told this story on Monday. I was actually texting people, telling them, you got to get a wireless speaker. This thing is fucking incredible. And every one of my friends wrote me back like, yeah, I kind of bought one of those like 5 years ago. And I was like, just, in case you hadn't. I just figured it out. You know what? I'm actually recording this because my wife's still sleeping. And it's her birthday. Ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo, ba-da-da, right? So I don't want to wake her up, which I probably already did. So I'm in this I'm in this room, and I have, these are all my old drum, I can't even say DVDs. Most of these are VHS. I bought like every instructional fucking video you could. The classic, I got the Tommy Aldridge rock drums soloing and double bass workout. I got another one, double bass drumming. I don't even know who that is. I don't even play double bass. Kenny Aronoff's power workout number 1 and 2 with the workout booklet. I got the Carter Beauford one. That's a DVD. I got Steve Gadd Up Close. I got the Funky Drummers who have the David Garibaldi's Tower of Groove. Omar Hakim, Let It Flow. The Modern Drummer Festival, year 2000. This is all just drum geek shit. I got fucking everybody. Keith Callock, Dennis Chambers, the Drum Ambassadors, the Drummer Collective 25th. Oh, then I got Steve Glad Up Close on DVD and In Session. 2 copies of that for some fucking reason. Jesus Christ, look at all these fucking things. Modern Drummer, what year is that one? 2008, that's not bad. John Blackwell, Greg Bissonette. I got them all. I got them all. Dave Weckl, Victor Wooten and Carter Beauford. Zorro, I got them all. Got them all. God knows it didn't help, but you know what? I bought them all. Oh, I bought them all. By the way, so recently I said to a buddy of mine, I was like, you know what? I think the best guitar sound, my favorite guitar sound I ever heard on an ACDC album was the For Those About to Rock album. He was like, really? I never listened to that fucking thing, and blah, 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 blah. And that was the album that came out right after the Back in Black album, which sold, like fucking 90 zillion copies. So there's nowhere to go after that, right? There's no fucking where to go after that. So no matter what you come up with, people are going to say it's a flop. But I fucking love that album. And it just so happened Dean Del Rey from, Jesus, I just spaced on the name of his podcast. For Those About to Talk. No. Let There Be Talk. I knew it was one of the AC/DC albums. He sent me this great article on the making of the Back in Black album, and it was so crazy to me because I was old enough when that came out. Like, I remember when Back in Black came out, I was 12 years old, and then Dirty Deeds came out, which was actually a Bon Scott, and he was already dead, obviously, and then they released that for whatever fucking reason, now looking at it, which is crazy because Bon Scott dies right after the Highway to Hell album, and AC/DC gets Brian Johnson, and it's literally like, if this guy doesn't make it, they go right back to playing pubs. Who knows what the fuck happens? The band's over. And they end up having one of the, this basically Back in Black album sold more copies than anything, probably other than like Michael Jackson Thriller or Pink Floyd, The Wall. Not The Wall, The Dark Side of the Moon. Whatever. Jesus, Bill. Get to the point here. So you'd think the last thing you would fucking do is, after you've established a new fucking singer, is then put out some old shit by the last guy who's now dead. So the fucking new guy has to reestablish himself all over again. I never really even thought about that because I just loved everything that they did. And I remember being confused of why Back in Black, the guy on Back in Black sounded so different on Dirty Deeds. Because there was no fucking information back then. There was no internet. Shit just came out. And you're like, oh, another AC/DC album. Then you'd put it on. You had no fucking idea. Especially at 12. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then For Those About the Rock came out after that. So there's this great article talking about all of that and how that was Atlantic Records. They thought AC/DC was a flash in the pan. And they thought the Back in Black album, I don't know how the fuck you make an album as great as that. You don't think that they have anything else left in the tank. So they were like going, well, let's strike while the iron's hot. And they fucking put out Dirty Deeds, and the band didn't want them to. It had been released, I believe, in Australia and then also in England under a different fucking name. I forget. I used to know all this shit when I was super fucking AC/DC nerd. And also I hadn't talked on a cell phone for 20 years, so I had a memory. But then For Those About to Rock came out. I remember this fucking kid in gym class going like, you hear the new AC/DC album, Those About to Rock? I was like, I haven't heard it yet. He goes, yeah, it fucking sucks. I remember thinking like, what do you mean? I don't think it sucks. I like that album. I like the first song, and I never bought the album because he told me that it sucked until years later. I finally was just like, fuck this, man. I'm going to buy this album. And to this day, I still listen to that. Like when I go downstairs, walk right into my garage with my fucking gym, right? Which is so awesome. That's what I play. That's what I've been playing lately. And it's fucking hilarious. Like I literally, when I go to my gym now, which is just like back in the day when I lived in my parents' house and I just would go down to the basement and I would play either Appetite for Destruction, the whole fucking album. I used to play that whole album, lift to it, and then I would go play drums to it. or whatever album I was into. I would lift weights to the entire album, and then I would play drums to it or try to. So I'm in the middle of doing that. Yesterday, it was fucking, benching day, your favorite fucking day. The only fucking exercise you really keep track of what weight you're putting up. And I had a flashback. I was half asleep, writing all day, and I try to get the workout in before I go into the writer's room so I don't become a fucking fat, pasty fuck. And so I had the 45s on either side, right? I do a set, and then I thought I grabbed 10s, right, to just do 155, and I wasn't paying attention, and I picked it up off the bar. I was like, wow, this feels really fucking heavy. And I just brought it down to my chest, and I was like, yeah, and I couldn't lift it back. I grabbed 25, so I went up to 185, which, when you get, that's a lot of weight for me. I mean, that's more than what I weigh. So, so I'm sitting there. I got it on my chest, and Nia's asleep, and I'm going, Nia, and I can't get it off. It took me back to the days when I was living at home with my parents, and I'd be going, Mom, and she'd be going, I'll be down there in a minute. And I'd be down there with fucking 185, 190 sitting on my fucking pasty chest trying to get it off. 200 pounds was always I was always trying to get up to that, but I'm a middleweight, man. Seriously, if I wasn't such a fucking booze bag, I probably should weigh between 160 and 165 instead of $180. But that last 15 pounds, I'm telling you, is nothing but scotch and pizza, right? So I got this shit sitting on my chest, and I'm like, holy fuck. I didn't have clips on it, but I didn't want to dump it off to one side, when you do that, and then you get fucking whipped around because I was worried I was going to fly into the mirror, right? So I ended up having to roll the thing down like back in the day. And there's that brutal part where it gets right on your fucking hip bones, and then you got to do the little up and over your junk before all the weight rests on your fucking thighs. Oh, it's the worst. I hadn't done it in so long. And the closer it gets to your kneecaps, and then finally you got to do that fucking thing where it just scrapes your knee bones, and then boom, hits the floor. And I did that as a 47, soon to be 48-year-old man. That was my fucking yesterday morning. I love the hole in this wall. Isn't that great? You know why I like the hole in the wall that I'm looking at right now is I can see the copper fucking pipe that I had put in there. I'm finally going to get this fixed. Get this fucking room painted. Then that's it. Then all I need to do is redo the kitchen, and then it's a brand new fucking house. It's the house that it should have been, that it used to be. Then I'll probably put it on the market, and I'll take it for a $400,000 loss. Buy a house, people. It's a great investment. I'm such a fucking weirdo. Even though I'm going to lose money on this fucking house, I actually, I guess if I never sell it, I won't, right? What I like about it, what I did to the house is this is going to be weird. I feel like a sense of responsibility when you own a fucking house. That the next person should get it, and they should be like, you know what, and appreciate the last guy, he fucking did this right. He kept it nice. You ever see an old guy with an old car, but he kept it nice? Still got it nice and fucking waxed and all of that shit. And everybody goes, look at that guy. That guy was raised fucking right, That's what I'm hoping the next people are going to think. But I know they're not. They're just going to come in here and do fucking blow and fuck hookers and have some goddamn kid running around with a fucking crayon and ruin all this shit. Not even appreciate that I got the fucking door locks fixed. And there's a little skeleton key in there, and you can lock all the doors like it's 1923 again. When you're going to have Charlie Chaplin over for some fucking non-genetically altered fucking horse meat burgers or whatever the fuck they used to eat back then. Anyways, I need to get glasses, by the way. I got to do that. I got to get my physical here so I can... I told you with the pilot's license, every 2 years, I don't think I'm going to pass the eye exam. And I was actually thinking about it, I could probably get away with it. I could probably one more time get away with it. And it's like, Bill, do you really want to be 1,300 feet off the ground getting away with something? What are we doing here? Why don't we try to get our fucking priorities straight, and make it fucking happen? So I'm going to go get some. And I know I'm going to look like a fucking sex offender, so it's already going to be funny to me. Actually, something? Who did a joke like that was... Ari Shafir. So I got to give him credit, even though I'm not even like lifting a joke there. That's exactly what I would look like. But that just made me flash back when he shaved his head and he was talking about how he couldn't have his glasses on because if he put them on, he looked like a sex offender. See that? And that right there is why I don't like watching other people's acts, because the shit just rolls around in your head and all of a sudden it just puts one in the chamber. Anyways, plowing ahead here. Did anybody listen to the Michael Rappaport podcast? I Am Rappaport. I called in to his podcast and we talked some sports and, he ended up wanting to put money on Game 7, all right? Bet a steak dinner. And I took OKC and he took the Warriors. I forget what the spread was, but I just didn't feel like it was enough points. I didn't feel comfortable with the bet. It was like 7 or something like that. I just said, you know what? Bump it up to 8. You bump it up to 8. You give me 8 points, I'll take OKC. And he goes, all right, bet. And you know what? Bam! Right there, Fred. Fucking 8 points. It's exactly what the spread was. Dude, I fucking called it. So we didn't work out what a push would be, like who would win. So now we've bet the NBA Finals. I took the Cleveland Cavaliers. He took the Golden State Warriors. So it's can't even say double or nothing because nobody won the first one. So I don't know. That's always a great bet. A steak dinner. It's not going to break the bank, and then you get to go out. And even though it's costing you money, you get a steak out of it, right? It's not bad. Wouldn't you say? All right. Let's plow ahead here. Let's do a little bit of, read some advertising here for this lovely Thursday afternoon. Ruby, the receptionist. Oh, God, this is going to be some fucking robot. Like the baseball kid. Remember that? The baseball kid, the baseball kid. If baseball's what you want to do, the baseball kid will pitch to you. And it was literally like for the only child. Everybody always said it's for the kid with no friends. It's for the kid with no siblings. Because even the kid with no siblings, no friends, still had a brother or a sister to be like, hey, could you, everybody kind of hates me at school. Could you throw the ball back? Is there anything worse than that? How mean kids are to each other? It's fucking brutal. But I'll tell you, you know what? It ends up producing some great comedians. Some psychos driven to fucking take their app to the next level. I'm going to show them. All. I'm going to go to the reunion. Everybody's going to be, I'm sorry, we pushed you down. Nobody gives a fuck. All right, Ruby the Receptionist. This podcast is brought to you by... No, it isn't. It's not brought to you by Ruby Receptionist, you fucking entitled cunts. Start over. Ruby the Receptionist. Ruby the Receptionist is a virtual receptionist service. That means you forward your existing business phone number to Ruby's friendly receptionist in Portland, Oregon, who answer on your behalf. Portland. Okay. Smart technology shows... Oh, God. Are they all dressed like Edith Wharton? Smart technology shows them details about your business and your callers even before picking up the phone, so they sound like they're right in your office. Plus, you can provide detailed call handling instructions for everyone in your business, as well as for different types of callers. Take a message, send them to voicemail, or put them through to your cell. Best of all, why is my stomach grumbling? Best of all, I just had a couple of waffles. Best of all, Ruby receptionists care about connecting with your callers and making their day while you're making your business look good. Customers agree as they repeatedly rate Ruby's service as 5-star on Yelp. Can you guys hear that? You hear that? I just put the mic up to it. Customers... There it is. It's grumbling. I just had fucking 2 waffles and some bacon. Customers agree as they repeatedly rate Ruby's service as 5 stars on Yelp. With Ruby Receptionists, it's like having a model full-time employee for a fraction of the cost. Plus, they're never sick, on vacation, or out to lunch. Get started today and call ruby.com/Burr and get free activation, a $95 value. That's callruby.com/Burr. It's another thing, too, is you can't fuck them either, so you won't ruin your marriage. No matter how hot they sound, they're all the way up in Portland. And who's going to go up there? Unless you live in Eugene. Tracker. Smartphones, smart cars, smart homes. Technology has made everything smart. Losing your stuff is still makes smart people feel stupid. Feel wicked stupid, dude. Tracker makes losing things a thing of the past. Tracker is a coin-sized device that locates misplaced keys, wallets, bags, computers, Snowden, anything in seconds. Just pair Tracker to your smartphone, attach it to anything and find its precise location with the tap of a button. It's that easy. Lose your phone? Press the button on Tracker and your phone rings, even when it's on silent. Isn't that creepy? With over 1.5 million devices, Tracker has the largest crowd GPS network in the world, so your lost item shows up on a map even if it's miles away. Never lose anything again with Tracker. Listeners to this show get a special discount offer of 30% off your entire order. Go to spelled THE, Tracker, TRACKER.com, and enter the promo code Burr. The hardest thing you'll ever have to do is find their website. Go to tracker.com right now and enter the promo code Burr for 30% off your entire order. Again, hey, thetracker.com/Burr. Promo code Burr, whatever. All right. Is it not /Burr? No, thetracker.com. Promo code Burr. That's what it is. All right. And finally, lastly, but certainly not leastly, we don't want any one of these advertisers to feel left out, that anyone is more important than the others. It's just at some point someone has to bring up the rear. Look at it this way. You're batting cleanup. Bowl and branch, everybody. Sounds like a steakhouse, but it isn't. As you set to improve yourself, there is one simple thing you can do every day to help you be your best in every situation, and that's getting a good night's sleep. Isn't that the truth? Bowl and Branch delivers the rest you need wrapped up in their super comfortable luxury linens. And they do it right. They're the first bedding company to be fair trade certified, which means that your sheets come from the work of happy hands, not from sweatshops. You know something? I wish more companies did this, man. You know? Considering everything I'm wearing was fucking sewn together at 3 a.m. by God knows who. And beautiful packaging made entirely from recycled and sustainable materials. Look at this company. They got their heads screwed on straight. But you know what? Everybody's got a weakness. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what it is. They're probably smoking meth. Next, please mention I'm going to mention it if you give it to me. All right, let's get through this. You can only get their sheets in one place. That's bowlandbranch.com, where you know you're paying for quality and not department store overhead. You're getting $1,000 sheets for just a couple of $100. Go online to Bowl, that's BOLL, and branch.com, like cliff, like tree, branch. And they'll let you try them risk-free for 30 nights. You can't lay on them during the day, but 30 nights you got them. If you don't love them, you can send them back. You got nothing to lose. And it gets even better. Go to bowlandbranch.com today for 20% off your entire order. Sheets, towels, blankets, duvet covers, everything. Plus free shipping, and all their products come beautifully packaged in their signature boxes. Go to bowlandbranch.com today for 20% off your entire order and use the promo code Burr. That's bowlandbranch.com, promo code Burr. Hey, bowlandbranch.com, promo code Burr. All right. Am I the only one who kind of looked at Ruby the receptionist? Just the way they word that. And now, for a fraction of the cost, you can underpay these fucking people, you know? I like a fucking receptionist. And, I might be old school. I might be sexist. That's what I'm trying to say. I like a reception. The hoarier, the better. As long as they get the job done. There's nothing better when you walked in, right? And there was some fucking, chick walking around with fucking fuck me pumps on. She looks good. And all these goddamn feminists out there that sit there and they flip out and they act like every fucking beautiful woman out there would be a chemist if it wasn't for men like me. Some of them, they're putting their best foot forward. Jesus Christ. What do you think we have remote controls for? Because no one wants to get up off the couch. And God damn it, if a woman is born beautiful and all she's got to do is walk around with her ass jacked up and her tits jiggling around a fucking office, and next thing you know, she's got a beautiful home to go home to, right? Because some rich guy goes in there going, well, you know what? I'd like to stick my billionaire dick between those tits. Hey, what's wrong with that? And then meanwhile, some fucking, Half a leprechaun jerk off like me can come in and I got something to look at while I'm waiting for the fucking doctor to finally come in and figure out what's wrong with my spinal cord. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that, you homely fucking haters of beautiful women? God bless them. God bless them for just showing up and looking good. You know, giving you something to rub one out to. You know, everything serves a purpose in life. Like right now. If you're some broad and you're listening to me, I'm probably motivating you to go write some paper, maybe in Portland. You know? We all serve a fucking purpose. Can't we just let the whores be whores? You know, there's a reason the word exists. All right? And I guess because men are running shit, that sometimes there's fewer options, but give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? It would be great if everything was like even. You know what I mean? Everything was just fair and the best got the fucking job, right? But that's never going to happen because we're human beings. And that includes those feminists who don't want it equal. They just want it better for them, right? That's why they're only talking about women. They're not talking about the poor kids that sew together their bed sheets unless they go to Boll and Branch. Oh, look at that little callback to the advertising. All right? Let's just say it was free. Not free. Let's just say everything was fucking even. Are you really going to tell me that there wouldn't still be that chick running around just fucking blowing people because she enjoys it? Why can't she just, why can't she have a good time without you judging her? Huh, you homely hater of a cock gobbler? Huh? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just filling up time here. Oh, would you look at that? 26 minutes in. 26 minutes in. And I'm waiting for my lady to wake up. I've got a couple of nice gifts. A couple of right there, Freds. Huh? I'm a big fan of buying your wife like something that she wears, you know? Because the more shit that you buy her that she wears, clothes, necklace, jewelry, any of that bullshit, the more that shit that you buy her, the bigger chance she's going to be wearing it when she's bitching at you about something. And all you do is you just put your eyebrows up, and as she's rah, 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 you just point to whatever you bought her. You know, stops them right in their tracks. What's that? You got something on your wrist there. What is that? And then the first they're looking, what, did I put my arm in something? No, right there on your wrist. And then they just look down, then they realize what you're doing, then they just go, oh, fuck you. And then you laugh, and it's over. You laugh, and then it's over, right? And you go over, you do a couple of Jaeger bombs over at your fucking bar. You'd be like, what? I mean, you're drinking too much. And then you point to their earrings. What? Is there something on the side of my face? Oh, fuck you. Yeah, it's great. And then you get another round. I'm telling you. All you assholes who are hiding your booze in the back of your fucking toilet, just ease off on the booze, buy your wife a couple of things that she's going to be wearing, and then you can drink in public like a man. You know? Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus, you imagine being that big of a drunk that you're actually like, because that's so fucking cliched. You know, it's also brilliant too, you know. The first guy who did it, because you're keeping it nice and chilled, right? You're taking it off the back. Oh, God, what a fucking, how unhappy is that goddamn life? Your wife's just sitting there fucking yammering at you, and you're going, oh, my God, this, I don't think I can get through this. You know, and she thinks she got some sort of weak bladder. You just keep going in there, you know. Boo. Taking the little cork out, taking a swig like a fucking pirate. And you got to flush the toilet like you dropped another deuce. Oh, my God. I guess if you're an alcoholic, you probably eat better, right? You just keep eating veggies all the time. So no one would get wise to the fact you had a little bottle back there. I really don't even know what I'm talking about right now. All I know is that the Pittsburgh Penguins, the knee breakers, they're up 2-0. What a fucking story that's going to be if they win. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the fucking odds were, but nobody, people even in Pittsburgh didn't even put money down. And if they did, they just did it because they love their team, but nobody at the beginning of this season. There's no Pittsburgh Penguin fan that said, you know what, the Penguins are going to make the fucking Stanley Cup final. They're going to make the finals. They're going to make the Stanley Cup final, and they're going to go up 2-0. There's not one person, not one Parami or Panini, whatever the fucking that place is called, where they stick the French fries in like fucking your breakfast and your dinner in between those buns, right? There's nobody standing down there, right, with the giant fucking back roll, you know? Pittsburgh's big on that, man. Guys sit down at bars, and you just got like those just softball-sized chunk of fucking lard, you know? Just protect. It's like the kidney airbag, right? Sitting there, right? And you know what? That's not a set. It's a fucking trifecta, because once you got those, then you got the fucking butt crack, and that's what you got. That's what you see when you go into those fucking places. And, you know, Pittsburgh's not the only place that goes, hey, you know, we all like burgers and fries. You know, we all like a sandwich with fries. But isn't it annoying that, you know, you got to hold the sandwich in one hand and then pick up the fries with the other? Wouldn't it be great if you could just have them all between the sandwich? You know what I mean? So you can just shove it down your fucking throat as you're dialing another fucking pizza, you know? Calling up Domino's or some shit. They're not the only ones who do that. There's a bunch of fucking places around the country that do it. And I'm telling you, whenever you go into those places, I'm telling you, you see the kidney airbags, those giant fucking ham hocks just hanging. I mean, literally, like, I swear to God, people in Pittsburgh, I'm telling you, like 40% of them, you could literally take an aluminum bat and just fucking whack them right in their back fat, and it would take them like probably a good 30 seconds before they turned around. They felt it in 8 seconds, but they got to get the momentum to turn that torso around. And all you got to do is just stay outside of their meat hooks. But I'm telling you, if anybody from Pittsburgh gets their hands on you, it's fucking over. They're going to pull you into that mass, and you're just going to be claustrophobic. Like, they're going to drown you in their fucking man tits. I'm telling you. Do you know how many tourists die a year? Just accidentally. They go to Pittsburgh for a fucking Pirate game, one of the most beautiful stadiums ever, right? One of those fucking ham hock Pittsburgh fatties gets a little too drunk. They lose their fucking equilibrium, and they just fall. You know, you ever see like when they go to detonate a building and it doesn't fall right? Or some jerk-off goes to cut down a tree and it lands on his own house? That's what happens. Except the house is a tourist, and the tree's a fatty from Pittsburgh. All right, I don't know what I'm saying. All right, that's it. That's the podcast. Just checking in on you, all right? Here's some music. Enjoy this. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be. I don't handle this aspect of it. And then you can listen to the last half hour. Be some podcasts from a year gone by from the same freckled douche that you're listening to now. You have been listening to the Thursday afternoon, Monday morning podcast just before Friday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, you cunts. And I hope San Jose wins. Not the whole series. I just need 7 games. This is nothing against Pittsburgh. I was just breaking your balls. It's just that this is when, like, the panic, my sports panic starts settling in. Like, oh, my God, the hockey season's over. NBA's over. It's just baseball. The dog days of fucking baseball. And the Red Sox are in first place, too. I'll have to get into it. Oh, by the way, month of May, the cigar count, freckles, I only had one. Last 3 months. And I said I'd have 2 a month this year. I had 2 in January, 2 in February, 2.5 because one wasn't lit right. But I don't count that one. Fuck that. 2. I had 1 in March, 1 in April, 1 in May. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do you like that? That's not bad. Now, we're not going to discuss my drinking, though, because I'll tell you, it's off the fucking charts. See you.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. It's the Monday morning podcast that I am doing on Tuesday at 11:20 in the morning, East Coast time. Fucking believe that? Look at me slipping. You know, no excuse. Actually, I do have an excuse. It was my girlfriend's birthday yesterday, so I was being a great boyfriend, paying attention to her, and someone had to suffer. You know what I mean? It's like a threesome. Someone always feels left out. No matter how much you try to pay attention. Who am I kidding? I never had a threesome before. I could have had one once. I think twice. The first time I didn't realize that it was going down. I was so young and stupid, I was actually sitting there and I was thinking, why won't her roommate leave? You know? The fuck? And it wasn't until like literally 7 years later I went, oh, wait a minute. She wasn't leaving because fuck. And then the other time, it was right there on the table, and one girl was absolutely gorgeous, and the other one was not gorgeous. Let's put it that way. Was so not gorgeous that she eclipsed the beauty of the other one. You know? So there you go. Hey, you learned something about me right off the damn bat. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do this week on the podcast. If you guys are new to this shit, new to my page, I do one of these every goddamn week, and people ask me questions, and I try to answer them, and other than that, I babble. I give you information about my life, and that's it. I'm fucking out of it, all right? I drank last night, okay? I was celebrating. We actually went to this goddamn restaurant in New York. We went to Babbo. And I'm a big fan of Mario Batali, but I like Lupa better. Babbo was just too, my palate was not sophisticated enough, all right? I'll take the blame. Jesus Christ. It was like regular dishes with shit you'd never eat. I had beef cheek ravioli. Yeah, why don't you fucking take that in for a minute, all right? And they had like pheasant face fucking lasagna, you know what I mean? It was always like half what you had heard of. Like goose liver, fucking souffle. So, I don't know. It was good. But Lupa is the shit. That's the one that I like. That's got like fucking, regular animals. Body parts that you eat mixed in with fucking rigatoni. What the fuck are you going to do, you know? You try shit. You know, she wanted to go there, I fucking took her there, and that's what happened. I ate 2 cupcakes for breakfast. What do you think about that? It was sitting there, left over from the party. And I said, that's a great way to start my day. Let me give myself 9,000 calories of straight sugar. It was unreal. It was like I did an 8-ball. After I ate the 2 cupcakes for 20 minutes, I was just sitting there thinking how fucking great I was. I'm like, I'm fucking awesome. I can do anything I want. I'm fucking the greatest. And 20 minutes later, when the sugar started wearing off, oh my God, I started pulling the drapes closed, laying in here like, I don't know. Don't ever start your day with fucking two cupcakes after you had beef cheek fucking ravioli. Beef cheek. I was like, cheek like the ass, you being cute there? Like, no. They actually, you know what? I didn't have the fucking balls to ask him. I didn't want to know I was eating somebody's face. I'm eating a yak face. Yeah, let me get the yak taint ragoon. All right, let's continue with the continuing story of American Airlines. If you listened to my podcast last week, these cheap-ass motherfuckers at American Airlines, they alligator-armed the fucking food up in first class. You know what I mean? They had 20 people in first class, and they made 5 omelets. The next thing you know, I was eating a bowl of Total over in Nebraska. Actually, no, that's not what happened. Just to give you the quick synopsis, I said, fuck you and your honeycomb cereal. This is first class. If I don't get a goddamn omelet, I don't want anything. I said all of that with a little less anger and no curses. So a few seconds later, the guy came back. All of a sudden, magically, he has an omelet. And I'm like, where did you get that? And he informs me that the pilot said he already ate so I could have his omelet. And I was like, I don't want his fucking omelet. I want my omelet, all right? I don't want a starving pilot, passing out up there, seeing bogeys leaning forward on the goddamn yoke, whatever you call it, all right? So I sent them a letter. And this is the letter that they sent back to me. And I swear to God, back in the day, if something like this ever happened and you actually wrote a letter, you at the very least, they give you a free airline ticket. And when I say back in the day, I mean like 2005, 2006. Now they don't give a shit. They just keep apologizing profusely. This is the dumbass letter they sent back to me. I'm only going to read you part of it because they just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Okay, I think I got the hiccups. I think I have sugar hiccups from scarfing down 2 cupcakes. Hang on a second, that's room service. Hello? Yeah, I'm going to check out in about 15 minutes, okay? Thank you. Jesus, they didn't say anything. She said, hello. I said, yeah, I'm going to check out in 15 minutes, at which point she could have said, okay, or odele, But no, she just closes the door. All right, okay, here's the fucking, what do we got here? This is the letter that American Airlines sent me. Okay, dear Mr. Burr, thank you for contacting American Airlines. It's our privilege to respond to your message. Okay, first of all, right there, they already pissed me off. Okay, don't start off with your fucking stock line like you're Jackie Gleason, Thank you for writing us, and away we go, a little shoving off the buffalo. Okay, I'm very sorry to hear of your disappointment with us and regret that you did not receive your preferred entree when you traveled with us in the first-class cabin. See how soulless this is? Because we want your travel experience in our premium cabins to be truly something special. We do our best to cater our entree selections so that we can serve each customer the entree they prefer. This is the part which is just complete bullshit. Okay? They want to make sure that they serve the entree that I prefer. You know how you can do that? Bring enough fucking eggs on the flight. This is what they write. To do so, we determine which entrees are selected most often and provision accordingly. That's such fucking bullshit. I mean, didn't they watch Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum did his little rant about chaos theory? You think because you take 10 flights or 100 flights and you figure out, 7 people want the omelet and 9 people want something else, it's such bullshit. First of all, nobody wants the fucking cereal. No one wants cereal in first class, okay? You fucking drop $1,500 or whatever the hell it is, $800 to $1,500 on a ticket. You want something of substance. I'm sick of bitching about this. All I know is in the end of it, I ended up flying fucking a middle seat to fucking Dallas, and all I got was a $150 voucher, which will pay for 1/3. They didn't give me anything. Mr. Burr, we are not unmindful of the inconvenience of you. Well, how the fuck would you be unmindful? I wrote you a goddamn letter. As hard as we are trying to deliver on respecting your time by operating our flights as scheduled, it just wasn't possible this time. Again, we apologize for the disruption of your travel plans. We're not giving you shit. Please fly with us again soon. We'll do our best to get you to your destination as planned. Really? You're going to do your best? That's what you can give me, American Airlines? Well, gee, we're going to try. That's a comforting attitude to have when they're going to be flying you fucking 36,000 feet off the goddamn ground. Oh, do I sound like a cunt this week? So that's basically it. That's the next level that they've taken it to, where it used to be like, okay, we fuck you over, and the stewardess gives you a hand job. That was 1975. Then in the 80s, it was, we'll give you a free ticket and a skinny Michael J. Fox tie. Remember those things, when you had your little spiked-out mullet? And that lasted for a good 20 years. And somewhere in the last 4 or 5 years, it became, we're going to fuck you over and go fuck yourself. What do you think about that? Go fuck yourself. There was 299 other people on the plane that didn't complain. What are you going to do, take the train? It's going to take you 9 days to get to New York. Go fuck yourself. You know you're coming back. It's just eggs. Get over yourself. And you know what? They got me over a goddamn barrel. Sons of bitches. What am I going to do? Fly ATA? You know, me and a fucking, I don't know what, and a goddamn chicken. Actually, I think ATA recently went out of business. You ever fly an airline and then, you know, you're like, it was kind of a weird flight, you know? There was a crack in the inner window. Actually, that happened to me on ATA, one of the windows. You know, they got the double pane of glass. They got the one on the outside of the plane, and then they have the one on the inside, the extra level one, and that one was cracked. And I believe there was a little bit of water in there. And I said to the stewardess, I was like, woman, there's a fucking crack in the goddamn window over here. I'm afraid I'm going to get sucked out once we get above 6,000 feet. She said, like, no, it's okay. It's still in the glass. You know, so I didn't feel bad when they went out of business. Now I kind of feel bad because now there's no other option. I guess that's my other option. Either I sit there and I take it on American Airlines and they go fuck yourself. All right? We're going to give you a bran muffin. I hope you brought some water. Or I fly another airline when their inner window is cracked and no one thinks it's a concern. The inner window's cracked. Well, that's why we got two of them. All right. This podcast is just a clusterfuck. Let's get to some podcast questions that I didn't even have the time to fucking look at this week. Actually, that's not true. I went to look at them, and I don't know what's going on with my MySpace page. I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but I have not been able to really add anybody for about a year. You know, every couple of days I'll get about 45 requests. I'll accept them, and then a day later I have 47 people taken off my page. And it's like, really? Were all those people spammers? I don't know what's going on. So I'm having somebody look at my account. The only question I can remember, I can't even remember, it was something about fucking, what movies do I find scary? Well, you know what, if you turned my flight on American Airlines into a movie, I would have found that fucking scary. What movies do I find scary? Anything that involves a crazy woman. I think the scariest movie is when I first got cable in the early 80s, when I had tight jeans and pony high tops that just met the bottom of my jeans and no one complained because somehow you could get away with that back then. I remember the first Friday the 13th when Jason came up out of the lake. That scared the shit out of me. And there was another one. Here's one for you. Okay, I got a podcast question for you guys. There was a movie I saw late night cable, and I can't remember what the fuck it was, but it somehow, there was somebody skating across a pond in slow motion with an axe. And I believe, for some reason, the monster I'm picturing is from that. I know this isn't it, but the picture in my mind is, what is that monster book where the wild things are? You remember what those monsters look like? In my memory, that's what the monster looked like, skating across the fucking lake. And I know it isn't that, but I know somebody. One of my 14 listeners out there has to be a fucking horror film, whatever the fuck. What do you call someone who's really into horror films? A geek. Yeah, exactly. A horror film fucking geek. There was that one, and there was another one I was just thinking of, and I just sat up, and now I can't remember it. I'm getting to that fucking age. I literally just moved my brain a little bit, and the thought just went away. Wait a second. What the fuck was I just thinking? Let me lay back down. Let me see if it'll come back to me. Okay, I was talking about, okay, we got to go back in time here. I was talking, okay, the lake, the wild things are. See, this is how my brain works. It works linear. Once I go past the moment, I can't go back. It's like a fucking traffic jam. What the fuck was I trying to think of? Ah, shit. I don't know. Oh, I got it. Bam. There we go. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. I like the old horror movies. Okay? This is what, you know what I don't like about new horror movies? They with that CGI shit, they can do so much insane stuff with computers that they forgot how to build suspense. The old ones, they used to build it up. They used to build up the moment where the monster was going to jump out at you because they had to, because it was just a guy in a rubber fucking suit. You know what I mean? But now that they can make it look like Godzilla's stepping on New York, they forgot how to build suspense. That's what I don't like about fucking horror movies now. And that's I think Japanese, I don't know. Everybody over in Asia seems to know how to fucking do that, but nobody over here does. Even like thrillers. Whatever a goddamn thriller is. Like take that movie A Perfect Storm. They had that goddamn big wave. That's all they showed in the trailer, so everybody goes out to run out and see it. And then they don't develop any of the goddamn characters to the point that I don't give a fuck about anybody in the movie. So by the end of the movie, I'm actually praying for the wave. I can't wait for them to kill George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg and all those other guys because I don't give a fuck about their characters because they haven't done anything to make me give a fuck. They just had a couple people speaking Boston accent, and you stick them on a tugboat, and I'm supposed to give a shit that they're going to die trying to get lobster. I'm just in a bad mood. I'm in a bad fucking mood today. You know what it is? It's a goddamn. Don't ever start your day with 2 fucking cupcakes. It seems like such a great idea. Like, oh, I'm 8 years old. This is what you'd want to do, but your parents never let you. And now I'm 39 in 51 weeks. And finally, the dream that I thought was going to happen, it did happen, and it just doesn't play out right. Oh, my God, how did I forget this shit? I know I forgot it because I have fucking 2 cupcakes worth of sugar in my brain. I actually had a crazy week. How crazy was it, Bill? I flew into New York on Wednesday. I did Opie and Anthony show Thursday morning. Then I did my show at Airlines in New York Thursday night. I got up Friday morning, got on a plane, flew back to L.A. I did the Guys' Choice Awards on Spike TV. Met all these famous people. They were all cool. I had a great time. I met Nikki Sixx. I was way more thrilled. And the after party was at the fucking Playboy Mansion. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, my God, Playboy fucking Mansion. That must have been unbelievable. I quickly realized when I got there, there's 2 kinds of parties at the Playboy Mansion. There's the You're Famous, and you can come by Wednesday afternoon and actually meet the broads that are in the magazine. And then there's the one that I went to where it's like, yeah, why don't you guys all just stand in my backyard? I literally thought I was going to show up to the mansion, right? It was going to be like me and 8 other people. And just, 4 Playboy bunnies each just rubbing on my chest. Hey there, big boy. I heard you're a comedian. Now, they just had, they had it was definitely the B team of Playboy bunnies. They had the little bunny suits on and the rabbit ears. But let me tell you something. They were grade A Hooter girls. And he could tell there was 3 of them who were clearly being paid to frolic in the pool. And any girl with bunny ears had like 9 guys around her. It was a fucking sausage fest. And this is the funny thing. Nobody was hitting on them. They were standing there with their fucking cameras out, taking pictures like they were at Disneyland and they ran into Donald Duck or something. It was pathetic. And, Hugh Hefner was roped off with his 3 fucking girlfriends, 83 years old, man. This guy, he was the shit. That was the only thing I wanted to do. I just want to go in there and shake his hand and then immediately stick my hand in bleach to get the unbelievable smell of 50 years of pussy off of my hand and then fly back. But he was busy, I understand. He had to meet famous fucking people, so, but still, it was still the shit. And then I flew back the next day, 6 in the fucking morning. I landed in New York at about 4:30. I got my bag. I went over to Airlines, and I did 3 fucking shows. And then I went out drinking afterwards. And that's the kind of thing that leads you to be in a cunty mood on a Tuesday morning You know, I did all of that, and then I ate 2 cupcakes. All right, so don't even question my fucking mood. All right, so there you go. That was my week. Huh? Went to a party at the Playboy Mansion. I did stand up on my first award show. When is it going to be at, you ask? Why, I'll tell you. It's going to be on June 22nd. And I had a great time doing the set, even though most of the crowd was a pay crowd. You know, good-looking people, hot chicks texting each other. Oh, my God, when is this going to be over? This is ridiculous. I want to blow Jeremy Piven. It's going to be on June 22nd, and this week, coming up this week, I'm going to be at Good Nights Comedy Club in Raleigh, North Carolina. You can go to BillBurr.com and get all the fucking information. And later on this month, I'm going to be at the Punchline in Atlanta. Hotlanta, as the brothers call it. And I think that date is June 19th or something like that. I don't fucking know. I can't get on this hotel internet. And I have to check out in 19 fucking minutes. So I got to go. Apologize for the podcast being a day late. And forgive my cuntiness on this podcast. I'm going to blame it on the sugar from the 2 cupcakes. What a fucking half a fag, huh? Starts the day with 2 cupcakes. That's what they call me, Billy 2 Cupcakes, Billy Cupcake. All right, you guys have a good week. Please keep the podcast questions coming. Sorry about this week, man. I don't know what's going on with my fucking page, but please keep them coming and let people know about my podcast. And thanks to everybody who came out to my shows in May in Philadelphia, Chicago, and New York City. All right, you guys all have a good week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Well, if it feels like summer, you're catching the sun, and I'm catching the moment you go. Well, if it tastes like honey, don't swallow it all. Don't wait for the moment to come, and it catch the sun. Hey, dude, well, don't lean on me, man, 'cause I'm losing my direction, and I can't understand. No, hey, dude, well, I do what I can, but you treat me like a woman, and I feel like a man. I was crossing the city one day, everybody was flashing by me, like images of tombstones, images of tombstones. On a Friday night, I've seen everybody looking for that little bit of honey, to alleviate the pain, to alleviate the pain. Well, if it feels like summer, you're catching the sun, and don't wait for the evening to fall. Well, if it tastes like honey, don't swallow it all. Don't wait for the moment to come. Catch the sun.